In India, e-commerce products are crazily discounted. I've actually worked in a couple of categories that are very active online.
Few years ago there was the big Amazon versus Flipkart war on mobile phones. कहते बेसिकली जो गफार का लैंडेड कॉस्ट है उससे ज्यादा Amazon और फ्लिपकार्ट डिस्काउंट करके बेच रहे हैं. 10,000 के फोन को 6,000 में बेच रहे हैं.
So one question, so sure, there is so much growth in e-commerce and quick commerce also now, especially in the metros. Has that changed the dynamics on ground in terms of how sales and marketing happens? Yeah. Has it
Yes.
made any dent or is still too small?
Yeah, not so much in cement. Cement doesn't sell online, but a two, three. I've actually worked in a couple of categories that are very active online, and one is diapers, and the second is cosmetics like your deodorant and fragrances. Right? These for other FMCG, it's a small segment, but here it has a massive impact on the dynamics. First of all, if I talk from an India perspective, in India, e-commerce products are crazily discounted. They are discounted, irrationally discounted, right? And therefore, there is this channel conflict that arises, which is a very big issue, right? So for example, the kirana distributor or kirana retailer or distributor, if he's selling a product for 100 rupees, probably that product will be available on e-commerce for, let's say, 80 rupees, if not lesser, right? And therefore he he finds it difficult to sell, right? In fact, some of the retailers say that it's more profitable to buy online rather than buy it from the company distributor, right? So that's called channel conflict, right? And wherever e-commerce is significant and growing, there is as a brand or as a company, you have no option but to participate. That's one. Second thing which happens is, the big players, they are all benchmarking each other, right? So they have these price crawlers, etc. Right? So Amazon will have price crawlers looking at at Flipkart, and now they've also the e-commerce guys have also started competing with modern trade, because now all the modern trade guys have realized that discounting is another way to get a fast offtake, right? So there are also connecting, comparing with, let's say, JioMart, and the other things. So, and it's like it just takes one moment to break price in the market, right? So if somebody discounts one of those top SKUs, the whole market, the pricing in the e-commerce and the modern trade price will crash, and that will create a huge conflict with the general trade, which is the highest volume and the highest margin channel for any organization, right? So your lower volume, lower margin channels are actually cannibalizing your high margin, high volume channel, and that's the dilemma that has to be faced. So it's a big challenge. It's a big challenge. Again, you have to work on it like day-to-day basis, have those partnerships and understanding, with the e-commerce and the modern trade platforms, have very strong discipline systems, and be willing to take the tough decision and say, hey, we won't sell with you.
And so that
at this
reminds
cost.
me of an anecdote, a story. We were talking about toothpaste wars. A few years ago, there was the big Amazon versus Flipkart war on mobile phones. Day one, 3 seconds, may 1 million sales, and those kind of things were happening very frequently. So one of my school friends is one of the big super distributors on Amazon and Flipkart. So he was sharing a story when this was going. I asked him, कि boss ये हो क्या रहा है? मतलब ये 3 सेकंड में. So he said, so he's a Delhi guy like me. He was like, तेरे को गफार पता है? कहते बेसिकली जो गफार का लैंडेड कॉस्ट है उससे ज़्यादा Amazon और फ्लिपकार्ट डिस्काउंट करके बेच रहे हैं. 10,000 के फ़ोन को 6,000 में बेच रहे हैं. गफार वाला 9,000 में बेचता है. और कहते तो वो अब बेसिकली वो यहाँ से खरीद रहे हैं, 6,000 में खरीदते हैं, 9,000 में बेचते हैं, और फिर वही वाला वापस जाके फिर से वापस खरीदते हैं अमेज़न से। फिर
Yeah,
उसके वही बात है, तो बेसिकली इट्स द सेम
yeah,
फिजिकल फ़ोन, फॉर इंस्टेंस, व्हिच थ्रू अमेज़न एंड फ्लिपकार्ट 6 बार वही सेम फ़ोन सेल हो रहा है।
yeah. No, absolutely. There are, this kind of things would be happening as well. So it's a very irrational thing. This whole pricing is very irrational in online. In India, again, I've seen in other countries that not so much. Yes, China it is. China also tends to act that way. But apart from that, yeah, India and China are probably the two e-commerce stories where pricing is very irrational.
But is that because it's like a volume, you just people are grabbing volume right now, and profitability बाद में देखेंगे?
No, absolutely. And again, I mean, some of you finance guys will be better able to make better sense of it. But this, profitability versus what do you call your valuation, right? And that the two are kind of not consistent with each other. So just from a business sense, it doesn't make sense, right? Where the purpose of selling is to make a margin. So when so you go beyond that, try and get valuation, etc. Whatever, but it is very irrational, and my assumption is that it will have to be corrected